morning, everybody. This is Lisa Hill, and like I told you last night that I was going to be with Shawn Berry. He's with Title Professionals of Central Florida, and he is an amazing real estate attorney. So we're going to start doing Title Thursdays, and he's gonna explain different things about title issues and things that could happen during your closing, while whatever. So, Shawn Berry, I'm going to kind of turn it over to you, and this morning's show is going to be about warranty deeds, special deeds. Do you guys know what kind of deed you have and what it means for you? So Shawn Berry's here to explain all of this to us.
All right.
So let's start, Shawn. What is a deed, Shawn Berry?
Well, first, thank you for having me on the show. I'm very honored to join your Facebook community, so thank you. That's a very good question. So a deed is the document which transfers title to your property. So at a closing, or maybe through a gift from a family member, or through a probate, or even a divorce sometimes, a deed is transferred, and that is the document which is recorded in public record, and that signifies that an ownership has changed. The deed will reflect the new buyer. The deed will also reflect the purchase price, so that way the tax collector knows what to assess the property at. Uncle Sam always gets his money. And
yeah, unfortunately.
And a lot of people think that your street address is actually your physical legal address, and that's not true. When a property is platted, either by lot and block, the county will assign a legal description. And so that is, and you'll see it may be this long on your deed, and that's how the county ties it back to you and to the specific property. So typically on a deed you won't see the street address.
Okay.
But in any event, that's really the purpose of a deed, is just to tell everybody in the world that this property is now owned by the buyer.
Okay, awesome. Well, I know there are several different types of warranty deeds.
Yes.
And I had a customer actually ask me about, what would happen because he got a special warranty deed. So I think what we're going to do now is just kind of, maybe you can go through the types of deeds and explain, okay, if I sell my property, what's going to happen?
Okay. Yeah, so first let's talk about the different types of deeds, and then we'll talk about what each one means.
Perfect.
So I'll start with what we call the lowest form of deed, and that's called a quit claim deed. A lot of people call it quick claim, because it's real quick and easy to give someone your interest, but it's actually called quit claim. And what that means is, I am the seller, am giving you, Lisa, whatever interest I may have in the property. So there's no guarantees there.
Okay.
You typically see this through divorce, and if a family member is adding someone onto title for maybe estate planning purposes, that's the easiest way to do it.
And I have noticed too, on a quick claim deed, Shawn Berry, you'll have like a monetary value of, like, let's say for $1 or $100.
Correct.
So why is that on there?
That is an old legal fiction. So it's one of those things from way back in the day that is just carried over. And so as part of a deed transfer under Florida law, there has to be a purchase price reflected. So sometimes you'll see $1 or $10.
Okay.
There's never any money exchanged. It's just part of the form.
Okay.
So that's why you see that on there.
Okay.
We always use $10 just because everyone's used to seeing
You
that.
always see like different amounts, and so you just wonder, what's that on there for?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And then moving up the chain, we now have what we call warranty deeds. And there are two different types of warranty deeds. You have your special warranty deed, and then you have your general warranty deed. A special warranty deed provides a little more protection than a quit claim deed, but not as much as a general warranty deed. And you will see special warranty deeds typically in two situations. One is with new construction, and also with a foreclosure. So meaning the bank has taken the property back through foreclosure auction, and now they are selling it as an REO, which most realtors will know what REO means.
Right.
So in that case, you'll see a special warranty deed. And then the best form of deed is called a general warranty deed. And that's actually required in the FAR contract in standard H on one of the final pages. So any realtors out there, if you want to see where it's referenced in the contract, find standard H, and it's called a statutory warranty deed. Same thing as a general warranty deed.
Okay. Now on a special warranty deed, I know the question that my person had was, what happens? Like, I know that you explained it to me as far as it just does, it doesn't guarantee the title past the sale date. Is that it, Shawn Berry?
Kind of. So
Okay.
with a quitclaim deed, as far as now, let's say you have a buyer who is going to be taking title from the seller, and the buyer may have a question as to what kind of title am I getting, or
Right.
a seller may say, what liability am I taking on by using one kind of deed. So a quitclaim deed, there is zero guarantees of title. So whatever happens, it's on the buyer.
Okay.
The seller basically washes their hands of the deal.
Okay.
With a special warranty deed, the seller is only guaranteeing title from the time that the seller took title.
Okay.
So anything that happened prior to the seller coming onto title is not being guaranteed. And that's why you see those deeds typically in new construction and bank owned, because those entities are not going to take on anything that may have happened 15 or 20 years prior. And then with the general warranty deed, that's the best deed for your buyer, because in that case, the seller is guaranteeing title forever in the past and forever in the future. So if any claim arises as regard to title prior to the time that the buyer took title, then the seller may or may not be on the hook for that.
So just going back to the special warranty deed just for a second. So you said that anything that from the date that the seller takes title forward is covered by that deed. So let's say, just as an example, what if there was a title issue before that deed was issued?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that come up in a title search that the title company would do at the time that the special warranty deed is being given?
Correct. And so what we're talking about here is just what each type of deed means and the guarantees that it contains. Now, like you just brought up, most closings now, you close with a title company or an attorney's office, you get title insurance. So these sorts of issues would hopefully be revealed in the title search.
Okay.
So there is always, if it's purchased at closing, there would be a title insurance policy that the buyer could rely on to say, okay, now underwriter with the really deep pockets, give me money for my issue.
Okay.
So that's another piece to it. But the
Okay.
deeds themselves do only do very certain things depending on the type.
Right. Perfect. So, what are the effects of each type of the deeds?
So the effects really are going to be governed by what the seller is willing to do. So I like to think of it, whenever I talk about this issue, I always think the bank-owned situation or the new construction, because we both know both of those companies aren't going to do anything for the buyer as it relates to anything in the past. So that's why title insurance is so important. And that's why the contract does contemplate the general warranty deed.
Okay.
Because the way that works is every seller in the chain of title, so long as there's always been a general warranty deed given, every seller is on the hook, and then every buyer is on the hook when they become the seller. So you have a lot of people there that potentially you can go back to for information or resources.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you guys, I know that there's a lot of you out there that have questions regarding the different types of warranty deeds, and this is your opportunity to ask questions to Shawn Berry. He's a real estate attorney. He does my closings. He is amazing. I asked him to do this because he's just so knowledgeable in everything in title. So, you guys, if you have your questions, now's the time to ask. We're going to be doing this every Thursday, and if you have topics that you've wondered about or you have questions about, if you're thinking about selling your home and there's something that you're not quite sure about on the title, send us that question and let us address it. And we could maybe even save you some headaches before you even list your property. We might be able to fix if there's an issue or something like that.
Sure.
So,
I do have an interesting story.
Okay.
Relating to a deed that we just had. I did my first closing with the property had been seized by the U.S. Marshals. The owner was a doctor.
This sounds juicy.
It was very juicy. The owner was a doctor who was involved in a giant Medicare fraud scheme. And this particular person went to federal prison and had to surrender 6 different properties they owned in the state, one of which was here in Orange County. And so we were retained to do the closing for the buyer. And the U.S. Marshal Service would only give us that special warranty deed because they did not want to be on the hook for anything that the seller did prior to them seizing the property. So, and then the buyer had a lot of questions. Well, what does this deed mean? He happens to be a person who has bought and sold many properties, so he was familiar with the kind of deed that he should have gotten, or he thought he would be getting.
Wow.
And in this case, the government, in signing the deed, gave us a very special form. They had to have certain language in it. So sometimes at closings, we are negotiating with the seller or the bank on certain language they want included or not included. So this may seem really simple as, oh, it's just a deed, but it can really become an integral part of the closing process.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
We just closed it, I think we did it in May, so it just happened.
Yeah. See, so guys, this is why, you know, working with a professional that knows what they're doing, it's great. Linda Martin.
Oh.
Linda Lou, we make a good team. Absolutely, we make a good team. And I'll tell you what, he's going on another adventure on Saturday. Saturday Morning Live with Lisa Hill will be from the top of the Star Flyer. And Shawn Berry is going to be with me. And so we'll be doing our show from the top. So I think we're going to be, I think it's like 450 feet or something in the air.
So if I survive, we'll do Title Thursday next week.
So Shawn Berry is going to be with me on Saturday morning too, and we're going to be at the top of the Star Flyer doing that. But for all of your title questions, and if you have real estate questions in general, Shawn Berry is a good one to ask. He is an attorney. He does have his own title company, and I use him for everything because he's just so amazing, and I never have to worry about my closings. So anyway, thank you so much, Shawn Berry, for doing this. And next Thursday, we'll have another topic. If you guys have something that you want us to talk about, we'll get it on the show. And thank you so much, Shawn Berry.
Thank you, Lisa.
Have a great day.
You as well.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye, guys. Talk to you soon.